Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
I am ready to. Here we go.
So the Minnesota Twins were represented at the All-Star game by Louis Arise and Byron Buxton, who started in center field, and I believe had at least 2 at-bats. Did he not? At least 2?
I believe so.
What are you talking about?
at-bats.
At Detroit?
No, in the All-Star game.
Oh, in the All-Star game. Yes,
The
yes,
All-Star
yes,
game.
Yes.
And the next morning, he had an injection in his knee
Right.
that was pre-planned,
Right.
causing him to miss at least the 2 games in Detroit. We don't know about tonight. Do you approve?
No. No.
It was really odd. I know I saw the quote from Rocco saying, well, we knew how much playing in that game meant to Byron. How about playing in the games you get paid for? Doesn't that count?
Right.
I don't know. Now, the Twins kind of saved him by going and kicking Detroit's ass 2 games in a row.
And I was wondering if that was part of it as well, knowing that Detroit is so feeble right now.
They can't score runs.
But last time they played them, they lost 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 5.
Oh, that's a good point.
Or
I didn't even
something.
remember that.
So, yeah, I mean, it was just, I wasn't surprised that he didn't play Saturday, but I was surprised that they had to fess up and say they gave him an injection in the knee right after he finished playing the All-Star game that was pre-planned. So that was kind of odd. We haven't seen a lineup for tonight yet to see if he's in there.
I can monitor to see if it's
Will Sano be in the lineup?
That's going to be interesting. Boy, is that a quandary, because I've never seen a team less in a hurry to call somebody up who was supposedly one of their key players than this guy. It's going to be they're going to have to kind of smooth it over till August 2nd, which is the trading deadline. And when that's over, they'll know who they have.
That's a week from the day.
Yeah. Then when that's over, they'll know who they have and whether they should keep him or let him go or what should they do. I can't see them. You know what I said? Kepler's banged up a little bit. Maybe we could put him in right field. What do you think?
He's got experience. That's
what I
right.
said.
Yes.
I tweeted that.
God, remember that experiment.
And I was very happy to see that at least 12 or 13 of the respondents didn't get the joke.
Now, remind me, that was a Terry Ryan production, wasn't it?
Okay, 2015 he comes up. He's their MVP after playing only 82 games, right?
Yes.
I think he played 80 or 82. He comes up July 2nd. And he's really good until the last month. He cooled off because he was trying to hit home runs to get that total up there. But he was really good. But in the process, he had discovered the wonders of big league meal money and had put on about 12 or 15 in 3 months. So they decided that he was too young to be a DH, right? He was only 23 or something. So then they had Plouffe coming off his best year to play third. And he'd never played first then. And, wait, they didn't have Joe. Joe was gone. But he had never played first. And they needed a right fielder, so they came up with the idea of having a 280-pound right fielder. Frank Howard was a 280-pound right fielder, but he was also 6'9", you know. So it was a disaster. I'll never forget talking to Ortiz at March because it was his last year, getting ready for his last year. How stupid are these Twins? He can't play right field, you know. It will never work. It will never work, he's telling us on that spring.
What, is Sano heavy now?
He looked Well, light for him is 275. So he looked to be in pretty good shape when I saw him in St. Paul. Damn near 3 weeks ago now, wasn't he? Over there almost 3 weeks, but I saw him in St. Paul. I only saw him in St. Paul, though I didn't talk to him in St. Paul because he turned down my requests. Yes,
That Reusse, you just going to write about me being fat is what he's going to say.
No, I think Reusse used to write about me batting 93 was the problem.
Ah.
That's his batting average when he returns, Joe.
93.
93. Mm-hmm. That's not good when you don't have to throw in you just can use.
And Milwaukee ain't Detroit.
No, Milwaukee's got a decent club.
Not much hitting, but they have good pitching. Although tonight they're starting some rookie. I never heard of a guy named Small who had made one previous start and it wasn't good. I don't know why they're doing that. And then they get Burns, the defending Cy Young Award winner tomorrow. So.
Well, you know what Rocco's doing is, these are only a 2-game series, then we get Thursday off. That would give Buck another day off.
Yeah, the old Gardy thing.
Hell, he'll need to go back to spring training. He'll be off so much.
Well, that was Gardy with Joe. He'd if I give him Wednesday off, I give him today off. Then tomorrow's an off day.
Yeah.
So then I can give him 2 days off. And my theory is, I can play him today because tomorrow's an off day, right? Even if I play him. That's the way I always saw it. But anyway, yes, it will be interesting to see if Buck makes it to the. He will have now had 4 or 5, 6 days since the injection of whatever they're doing. Somebody said they're discussing the possibility of it's swelling.
They're calling it chronic.
Tendinitis under the platelet, right? Underneath the cover of the patella, that's right. Which is the kneecap, right? Kneecap. So they have now admitted it's chronic? Mm-hmm. I didn't see that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, well, so this is it then, huh?
Yep.
They were talking about surgery, but if it's chronic, how does surgery cure that? I mean, lessen it some way?
So, Pat, I was looking up the hashtag Minnesota Twins in an effort to find the lineup to see if either Buxton or Sano was going to be in it this evening. The first thing that pops up on Twitter from the Twins Almanac, one of my favorite accounts to follow, Kirby Puckett robbed Lou Whitaker of a would-be go-ahead home run on this date in 1985, preserving the save for Ron Davis.
All right.
Puck stole Davis from another blown save.
I don't think RD was traded till 86, though, right? Or was he traded in 85?
Oh, I guess I don't know. I just assumed.
Can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember if that might have been one of his last saves or not.
How was Cooperstown, lad?
Outstanding. It was, it has, since we were there, which, by the way, is only 20 years ago,
Isn't
right?
that something?
01.
Wow,
02.
was it that long
Yeah,
ago?
Puck was.
Yeah, you're
01.
right.
Puck was 01.
Because he went in with Winnie, right? They both went in the same year?
Yeah. Winnie, by the way, long-winded when we were there on that Sunday, long-winded again, introducing Bud Fowler.
Really?
I'll talk about that. But, yeah, it was. It's changed a whole lot, price-wise and everything. They really
Did you see the old
really
Babe Ruth guy walking around?
did not see him this time.
That was
Did not
eerie,
see him.
man. That guy looked like Babe Ruth.
Yeah, and they had the parade was coming at 6 o'clock on Saturday night, and it was 90-some degrees there, and people were out there sitting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in chairs, man. Woo. Wow, to see the the various Hall of Famers waving. They had about 4 or 5 of them didn't show up because of the COVID. Derek Jeter and a few other guys, and then so they didn't have their usual outpouring. But I was telling Chris that I think Tony's handlers messed up.
Oh yeah.
I think they tried. He tried and he practiced a speech, and they gave him a speech to make. Mm-hmm. And I told Chris they should have given him a list of 10 people that he didn't want to forget and say, "Go get him, Tony," because he's fine. But he lost his place on the speech a couple of times, and it got a little. Meanwhile, he got caught up there. It was the smoothest talker of all time. But Tony did okay. It's just that
You wanted to see Tony.
Yeah, I did more than Tony. I with Tony's language issue in the sense of his still thick accent. He thinks, you got to let him be confident. He was not confident because he was trying to stick to that. They just relax. I just hope, man, he's tired out. He's got people coming at him from 100 angles. You can just see it. And I hope he's taking 2 weeks
he's
off.
84 years old.
Yeah, he is. With bad, he's got the new knees, but they're still the bad knees. So.
Right. But
it was great. Yeah, it was. Here's the trouble with baseball. We all agree that if you can screw up a one-car parade, they can do it,
yes,
right?
That's it.
Now, you got a Hall of Fame, you got 7 people. You got 3 live ones. Cott, Tony, David Ortiz.
Right.
You got Bud Fowler, who's been dead since 1915, was a first a black player, apparently. Played for what they considered a major league team back then, whatever. And he born in Cooperstown, and this veterans, these historians decide to get Bud in. So they give Winnie the role as a Hall of Famer, the role of introducing Bud Fowler to the crowd. It's 90-some degrees. He's the second one going up. You've just listened to Cott. And instead of having some nice historian write a 4-minute speech for him, they let Winnie to his own devices. And the Saber is this outfit that's, these baseball historians, and they write these long biographies of people that you can find on their website. Winnie basically is reading the Saber thing. It took him 20 minutes.
Oh, man.
He was up there for 20 minutes for Bud Fowler, who's the second guy of the day, and immediately you got everybody in the crowd looking at their cell phones to see what time it is, and right off the bat. And then they bring up Minnie Minosa's widow.
Oh, no.
Now, Minnie, somebody could have got up. Mike Veck could have come up and done 8 minutes of great Minnie Minosa tales and sat down, or get somebody like that. The widow, God love her, couldn't stop. She was she ended the speech. Everybody got up. She started talking again.
Oh, no.
She ended the speech, talked again. She went 20 minutes.
That's too bad.
That's 40 minutes for
Fowler and Minoso.
Winnie could have been a Fowler who we want 5 minutes on Bud Fowler. Thank you. He doesn't have any relatives.
Right.
No relatives.
Because they're all dead, too.
Yeah. They don't, nobody knows who he is, but we could do 20 minutes. You think the NFL would screw up their Hall of Fame ceremony?
How long did Tony speak?
Tony went 15, 16.
Yeah.
But he did not carry out his threat. He was asked, I think Koufax asked him, how long are you speaking, Tony? And he said, 45 minutes, one for every year it took me to get here.
No, that's great.
Pretty good. Yes, that's Tony.
Right.
Instead of trying to read a speech. But so, by the time Tony gets up, we're damn near an hour into the thing already, and it should have been 30 minutes into the thing. Because they told us they're not showing the videos because there's a storm in the offing. They got to be in a hurry. Well, you can't. You got to tell people, hey, we're gonna start playing organ music or something after about 8 minutes here, Mrs. Minosa. So,
They needed the hook.
Yeah, they did. You got to have the hook.
Nice trap door.
You got to do the Oscar thing. Start
What did
playing the
Ortiz do?
music.
How many minutes?
I was gone.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I listened to our guys and got out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't going to write anything about it anyway. I was not exactly. Everything I wrote on that trip on my phone, on my cell phone.
Really?
Which was okay because you could write in the notes until I was in the car trying to write about Sunday's thing, going boom, 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 and your fingers going around like this. Every word I had to correct 6 times.
We
trying to
mentioned-
get
Did you
it.
write it as a text message or a
You're right.
email?
Well, on your phone, there's notes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
A notebook.
You do
Yeah.
notes, and then you hit it about 12 times, and what you want to come up finally comes up, and then you send it as an email.
We mentioned this earlier today in GL.
Oh, notes.
Joe would have brought the yellow legal tablet to cover that, wouldn't he have? Just like
Yes,
he
but
did?
you still got to you got to get it in there. It would have been it was It was okay. I got to. Did I tell you this? Bob Fowler's son is still in Utica.
Right.
So I had dinner with him on. He died in '09, ALS. But I got some good family yarns from Robbie Fowler. We had dinner on Friday night.
Was Bob Fowler a Minnesota native?
Detroit Royal Oak Tribune.
Oh.
That's why he had so much trouble with Sid, because Pete Waldmeyer and these guys from Detroit, who would be somewhat critical of the home team, were his heroes. So he showed up and wanted to put a little bit of an edge into his coverage of a losing team, and the great man was the sports editor then and didn't really go for that too well. Right. So, yeah, he wanted us to remember who we wanted to win, so back then. So
your guy did pull another suture, Patrick, on Monday before the program. We were just talking about this, that, and the other thing. He's in the other room, and he said, "Did Ortiz go in as a twin?"
I saw a picture of him with Cotton Oliva.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no.
He went as a Red Sox.
Red Sox, yes. where he hit only 500 of his home runs. Right? Yeah,
that gave me a little chuckle because I knew exactly why you asked that because I saw the same photo that you did.
Did you realize I had forgotten what an ungodly blunder Calvin made with Cott? 73's mad at him, right? He's mad at him because he beat him out of 60,000 that year. That was
arbitration or whatever.
No, there's no arbitration.
Oh, okay.
It's just he held out, and Calvin finally had to give him 5,000 more than he wanted to. Well, the greatest Cott story about negotiating with Calvin is 65. They go to win the American League pennant, go to the World Series. Cott's like 16-13, and Calvin says to him, "Doesn't make any difference what the team did. This is an individual sport. You didn't pitch as well as you had. I'm going to cut you 5,000." And then he had to battle him like hell to get like a $5,000 raise, So, but he tried to offer him. The next year, Cott goes 25-9, but they don't do well in the standings. He says, "This is not an individual sport. This is about the team game." Wow. Calvin, you told me the opposite last year, But he got 60,000 out of him. Calvin was mad at him, and he wasn't pitching great. And in August, he put him on the waivers, and back then, $100. Wow. The White Sox paid $100 for him. He won 20 for the White Sox each of the next 2 years.
Oh, my word.
He developed that rapid pitching style that he had, and he won 20 each of the next 2 years.
Calvin would have made a great politician.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, he would have.
He'd say anything.
Yes, yeah, he would have.
But they had kind words for Tony had kind words for Calvin. So did Cott.
Yeah, they were. Well, Cott was, he had his. Cott's troubles with Tony started when they fired Johnny Sain, who he loved, the pitching coach, and he wrote an open letter to one of the newspapers ripping the Twins during the offseason for firing Johnny Sain, and that irritated them considerably. Yeah, well, he was always out. There was no union really then, but he was like the leader of complaints about salaries and stuff like that.
You missed a hell of a 3M Open, in which the leader for 3.5 days urinated it away.
Oh, God. Unbelievable.
Scott Piercy.
I was reading all about it. I didn't get to see it, obviously. But for some reason, I think you're the same way. About the last 6 years, I always root for Tony Finau when he's in close because of all the heartbreaks that he's had. So I was thrilled beyond belief at 8:00 at night when I finally looked at my phone and saw that the other guy was ahead by 5 strokes.
Well, that's a big time winner for that tournament.
Yes, it is. That's a nice winner. Yes, it is.
But Piercy reminded me of Mike Donald losing to Hale Irwin in the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
I mean, it just I was rooting for him, a journeyman who's
doesn't
win much.
I hadn't won in 9 years or something.
I thought he physically ran out of gas. Saturday, he walked around carrying his shoe because he had such a blister on his foot that he ended up carrying his shoe instead of wearing it.
There's nothing that drives you crazier than a 6-hour rain delay when it's not really because of rain, right?
Yeah,
they
they
were
should
worried.
have played.
They saw some lightning in Crookston or
Big
something.
deal.
And they
You talking
couldn't
about
play.
Saturday?
Yeah.
Saturday, 6.5-hour rain delay.
Oh wow. Well, I
How'd
got
they get
pounded.
it played? By the way, are we that dark? Are
They
we
started
do we
again
stay-
at 6-ish, and
They
you're
must
right
have
out to
finished.
8:30.
They must have finished when it was damn near dark.
It was getting dark.
So yeah, well, good. I guess the crowd. I exchanged texts with Hollis. He said the crowds were okay.
Yeah, they were good.
Not fantastic. but
What's
okay.
the? I was going to ask you this, Pat. What's the contract with that? Are they going to be in trouble with all the guys leaving LIV of maintaining this?
These are the tournaments that are in trouble because 25 of those LIV guys would have been playing here.
Right.
You know, Pat Casey and guys like that. How about Matsuyami though?
Hideki?
Yeah, he's going supposedly to LIV.
Really?
So, but he's committed to this tournament.
Yeah.
Shoots 77 and withdraws.
Yeah.
And I was talking to somebody. It appears that he plunked a couple, looking for an excuse to get the hell out of here. Now it's not official that he's leaving. But when I saw that 77, I said, "Yeah, he must be ready to take off because he didn't want to stick around and play 3 more days."
That's I can't think of his name. That's his bit.
Dustin Johnson.
Justin Johnson's bit.
Yeah,
He's a LIV guy.
He hit it in the water last year on 18 on Saturday, Friday when he found out if he made par, he was going to make the cut.
The Trumper's a big fan of LIV.
Oh, God. Well, yeah, they're playing his golf courses.
Right.
There's some thought that this is all part of the Saudi plan to put money in the Trumper's pocket. They're paying huge. It was his course in England too, right?
Glen Eagles?
In Scotland that they played one of the first ones. I thought he owned the course.
Clarkey had a great line the other day. He won the British Senior.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of 4 guys now who's won the Open and the Senior Open.
Oh, really?
And they're playing that at Glen Eagles. That's not a Trump course, is it?
I don't think so.
And so the very formal British interviewer is talking to him afterwards. Says, "Clarkey, what are you going to put in the jug?" And just one word answer. And Clark says, "Options." It'll be good, but it's options.
How's Clarkey looking? He's got the beard going or
He looks a
not?
little heavy and a little aged.
Boy,
Don't we
He's
all?
only 53, though, I think.
everybody loves that guy.
Yeah.
So wait a minute here now. Tony Dow died? Did I hear you guys say
Yeah.
that?
Wally.
I looked it up, and at least he outlived Eddie Haskell by 2 years.
Right.
Oh, that's right. I forgot we lost Eddie.
Eddie died. Ken Osmond, I looked it up. He died 2 years ago.
Was it folklore? Or did Ken Osmond have a kid who went to Crete?
Okay,
And he was
came
here
to
for the
town
father-son or father-daughter dance.
Really?
A couple of years ago.
He was in town
That's
once
what I heard.
and had a
yeah.
little
yeah.
a little get
Who
together.
knows? Who knows?
You get together? No, I don't know about that. I don't know.
June's not alive, is she? June
Oh
Cleaver.
God, she'd
Hugh Beaumont can't
Barbara
be alive.
Billingsley.
Yeah.
Barbara Billingsley.
Jerry Mathers is still alive, I think.
Is he?
Look it up, Reeves.
I'm
Jerry
looking at-
Mathers, the Beaver. But he wasn't quoted as saying something fond about
You know what I
Tony
don't like?
Dow.
Barbara died in 2010.
Okay.
Oh, she did okay. Then she must have been 85. Huh? Was she 85?
She died. She was born in 1915. So she was
70s. Oh.
no. 1915 to 2010. That's almost 100 years. So she was.
Oh God, she did.
95.
Well,
95.
when you live a good, clean life like she
June,
did,
yeah.
she and very tolerant.
Look up Jerry Mathers.
She even got along with Eddie Haskell and Lumpy, for God's
yeah,
sakes. She got along with all of them.
Jerry is 74, and he's still with us. 74 years old.
As hokey as that whole thing was, Eddie Haskell is an all-time great character.
Oh, he's a great
because we all knew a guy like that.
Oh, yeah.
We all knew a guy who could schmooze up your mother, and make her think he was a hell of a guy when he was. If she left $3 hanging out there, he would have stolen it.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Jerry Mathers, born June 2nd, 1948, in Sioux City, Iowa. So there you go.
Well, neither Tony or Jerry were heard from much after.
No, Tony did not.
But he
have
had an
one.
active career.
Tony, what did he do?
Oh, he
what
directed
was he ever
stuff,
in?
and he
But
was on TV shows.
Not much. Not much.
Not
I
enough
don't
that we
think.
would have known. There was a second coming of Beaver in the 80s.
Yeah, that
They were
ain't
all
much,
on. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
It was called The New Leave It to Beaver.
Right.
I bet that lasted 3 weeks. Huh?
Oh, lasted a couple of years.
Yeah, Johnny had it in his newscast
Yeah.
earlier today.
Did it? Well, you know what I don't like? They don't tell us why a guy died most of the now anymore.
Tony had the cancer.
He did have the cancer.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, not good that he had the cancer.
No,
but
right, I
good
know what
that-
you mean.
Good that we know
We
what
had
he
the
died
information.
from.
Yes.
I want the information.
How did
I
James
want-
Caan die? Do we even know?
I don't know.
He
By
did-
the way, if you were in either Goodfellas or The Sopranos, you better start hiding.
Right.
Paul Sorvino now.
Right,
How many? There one a week are
What-
dying that played the Italian gangster.
What was he in The Sopranos?
He wasn't.
No, he was
but
in Goodfellas.
Oh, but
Goodfellas.
he was the boss in
Goodfellas, yeah.
and he was the guy in the prison with the
Yeah.
having the wine delivered and the meats and
Yeah.
the cooking this. He was the cook in the prison.
Yeah.
Was with the boys' club in the prison. That he was great as the boss. But there's such a cross section between that movie and The Sopranos in our
Right.
minds, and they're all dropping dead left and right. Pesci's still alive, though, right?
I believe so.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, not many.
Ray Liotta's gone.
God, I saw he's in this series Blackbird, which is a 6-parter that's terrific. It's on Apple TV, I think. But he looked terrible. So it was taped within the last year. When you see that, you're thinking, ooh, there was something going on here. What
De
did
Niro's
they,
still around.
Yes. What did they decide that killed Ray Liotta? Was it a heart attack or what?
I don't know.
Did they tell us?
I
Did
can
they
look
tell
that
us?
up.
He looked doesn't look good in that movie. I'll tell you.
Maybe Ray lived hard.
Yeah,
Fighting chance.
yeah, could be.
I loved him in a Jeff Daniels movie, where he goes back to the high school reunion. Who's the gal I'm thinking of?
Something Wild? No,
I think it was called Something Wild.
the one with Mulaney Griffith.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was her
Wasn't he your ex-husband?
ex-husband, boyfriend. Yeah, that's kind of where he came. That's kind
That
of
was his big
made
deal.
It. Yes. Then, yeah, that was a great movie.
Well, he also was in the
And the
baseball
fact
movie.
that Melanie Griffith, the young Melanie Griffith, showed complete nudity has nothing to do with that being a great movie.
No, nothing.
No. In fact, if I'm watching it and that comes up, I just fast forward it.
Yeah, you don't need that.
I don't.
Liotta apparently died in his sleep May 26,
Yes.
2022 in Santo Domingo of the Dominican Republic
Yes.
during the filming of Dangerous Waters. No cause of death has still been revealed.
Sounds like a heart attack. When you die in your sleep, there's a damn good chance it's a heart attack, right?
Speaking of
I don't want to do that. I want
wanna be
15
awake?
minutes.
Yeah.
I want 15 minutes.
All right.
bleep you,
15 No, I want to, just in case.
Right.
You know, I didn't mean it.
Speaking of the LIV tour, have you guys seen the hot new rumor who Greg Norman is going after now for the
No.
LIV tour?
No.
Charles Barkley.
Yes, to be TV. Yeah. Well,
But
Not
don't
to
you
play,
think?
for God's
But no,
sakes.
but don't you think if they do recruit him for TV, they're going to make him play in the events?
Well, you can't.
No,
He can't.
he can't play.
He can't
in the
play.
events. And they don't.
But
have
it's
a
all
pro-am.
a gimmick anyway.
No,
I know, but-
no, they won't. No, they want him to do TV, and they're offering him ungodly amount of money, less work than he does on TNT.
Is
for
he
more
done
money.
with basketball?
No, he
He
has
still does
2 more
TNT,
years.
TNT contract. Yeah, they wouldn't let him out, but he was quoted last week as saying,
I think he was on with
I
Dan
think-
Patrick.
I think everybody's way too paranoid about this thing. Let them play. And I say, let them play too, but don't put them in the world golf rankings because they're playing 54 holes.
Right.
And that ain't championship golf. Sorry. So, who won last? Oh, they didn't have one this week. This week they're at Trump's course, right? New Jersey.
Are they? They don't even make the scoreboard in the paper, do they?
No. So far, they're still only being streamed on their own special station, so you can only watch them on the computer. Is that it?
What's that? Sorry, I was listening
I
to
have
something.
no interest.
No, I don't either. Who cares?
I don't care.
Same 48.
What kind of women are in San Antonio?
Some big old women.
I would just say that.
That's a gold mine for Weight Watchers.
Why does every conversation about sex?
Anytime I get the chance.
You know, he's
He doesn't
such a
get a-
hell of a guy.
Oh, he is, yeah. And
Well-rounded.
yes, yeah. He's he's a conservative financially
Right.
guy, but he also thinks there's idiots who are, fighting, on the other side.
Did you ever read
too.
the story about him befriending a Japanese businessman?
Yes, this little guy became his best buddy.
Oh, my God, it's a great story.
It is. It's terrific. This little weaselly guy.
The guy
that
was
he
an
met,
entrepreneur.
Met him in a bar, right?
Met him in a bar at an
Bought
airport.
him a drink at an airport bar. And
Ended
they-
up going to his funeral.
Yeah. Well, and the guy he'd have him with him at times, and it was just and his kids were saying it was a great friendship.
Yeah.
They were just, I told you, I got to tell you again, he's walking out with the dream team. He's sitting at the bar for 45 minutes with Silas McKinney, and I was sitting next to him listening, and next to Silas. And when he's leaving, this fellow comes over and says, Charles, and there's a guy over there who's 25 years old, but had birth defect. He's been crippled his whole life, right? I know we're not supposed to say that. Charles goes over there. You figure to say hello. He sits down and talks to the guy for a half hour.
That's fantastic.
And then Brian McIntyre, the PR guy for the NBA back then, the great guy, says, best guy we got in the league.
Yep.
Anything you want. If it's reaching out to poor folks or, he said he's the best.
He was raised right. Something went
He
on.
was raised right.
I
But
think
he's
by his
also-
grandma.
Yeah, that's right. Something like that. Yeah, he was a chunk when he played for Auburn, the round mound of rebound, and then. But I always thought that that Pippen and some of these guys might be better forwards. But when I saw him play with the Dream Team, and they started him, he belonged on that top five.
Oh, for sure.
All-time top five.
For sure.
He was that good. But he's the guy that, he basically punched a kid from Angola who was guarding him too close, elbowed him in the head. And they were beating him 130-12 or something, And he says, why did that Charles? The NBA guys could BS with Charles. They just, the guys who were there and said, Charles, Angola.
Yeah.
What did you do that to that poor kid for? He says, bleep Angola.
He also said, did he say something about another country? And somebody asked, well, what do you think of the scouting report of this particular country? All I know is they in trouble.
They're in trouble, yeah, that's right. I'll tell you, I've said it. When I saw them go on a floor in '92 up in Portland because they had to play in that Tournament of Americas, hair raised up on my arms.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not the world's biggest NBA fan, but all of a sudden they're all out there. It was like, holy
What do we
Christ.
think of him if he goes to LIV?
Take the money. What the hell?
Yeah.
What difference does it make? To be an announcer, and but they got to realize he's not going to go by script.
Right.
They better get ready for him to say some stuff.
Right.
Well, they better get a television contract, too, if they're going to hire Barkley. Or maybe they'll just do everything online. I
Well,
have
the
no
thinking
idea.
must be that he'd get them a television contract.
That's true.
But I don't know. Do they want? I think they're afraid that they would not have any sponsors.
Because of the connection, sure. Yeah, I could see that.
I think that the connection to Saudi Arabia would not cause the big corporations in America certainly aren't going to get on board and buy ads for them. So, but it's a disaster. I think.
Speaking of golf and ads, what a perfect time to talk about Giants Ridge.
They aren't going to accept LIV.
LIV ain't going to show up at Giants Ridge.
No.
They're afraid of it.
Even though it's home to the two best courses in the state, not to mention the country, the Legend and the Quarry, where now through August 29, play the Legend and the Quarry on the same day for one great rate, with lunch on them between rounds at the Wakuta Grill, one of the finest, most peaceful overlooks in all of northern Minnesota. You can see that on the 3D course flyovers of the Legend and the Quarry at GiantsRidge.com. Really a golfing destination. A lot of great golfers in this country want to play the Legend and the Quarry.
It's a hell of a golf.
It's
It
a
is.
bucket list
You're not
destination.
BSing about anything here.
No.
They're a great golf course.
Also, if you're thinking of it as family vacation destination, there's water recreation, biking, hiking, the newest and largest lift-serve mountain bike park in the Midwest, dining, lodging, and more. If you want to make a tea time online, you may at giantsridge.com or by calling Giants Ridge at 218-865-8030.
Yes, sir.
Vikings' first full practice tomorrow. Are you going to be there,
That's
Joe?
a bad sign, man. That means
You're
summer's
gonna be
over.
there?
No, I'm not going to
Boy,
be
we
there.
can make that long trek to that hotbed of activity,
Yeah.
the middle of nowhere
In Egan.
I'm done with them without going. Mankato was a destination. It was some place to go to and say, oh, they're down here. The Vikings are in town. Who cares if they're in Egan?
No
At that
one.
Tria Center or whatever it's
Yeah,
called. Some
that's it.
orthopedic. Is it Summit?
Yeah.
Or who's got 'em?
Twin Cities Orthopedics
Yeah.
Performance Center. as
The
I
hell
believe.
with them. I think they have the same.
Is this the mini
advantage.
camp or the real camp?
This is the
This is
real
it.
camp.
We're
Oh,
starting.
man, that
We
means
play in
summer's
2
over.
weeks. We play in 2 weeks.
Oh, you're kidding.
No.
August 17th.
Oh,
right?
no.
3
I
weeks,
used to
maybe.
look forward to that.
Yes.
No, that's terrible. That is terrible.
Well, the one nice thing, though, is we now only have 3 preseason games.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's all they got rid of, right? Well, they didn't.
But we added
they
the
here,
17th
Joe,
game.
they only have 7 road games. They should have a good year. They got 9 home games, and then the Saints game is in London.
I was going to say they got a Europe game.
neutral court. So they only have 7 real.
How are
home
they
games.
expected to do in the old division?
They'll be a playoff team this year.
They probably win the division because the Packers. Aaron Rodgers just came back for. He knows they've had their shot. He came back for the money. His receiver, the difference maker, signed elsewhere. They didn't bring him back. I'm not going to be very good. I don't think they got the same advantages as the Twins do. Lousy division, I think.
Speaking of your Twins, both Buxton and Sano are in the lineup.
Where is Miggy playing first?
He is.
Give me the lineup.
Buxton, Correa, Polanco, Garlic, Miranda, Urshela, Kirilloff, Sanchez, and Sano will round out batting ninth.
Garlic. How about that? What would have the odds been 2 years ago that 3 years ago that Kyle Garlic could be hitting 4th against lefties, right? 4th. He's in,
That's
and-
now a
and
must-watch
Sano.
game.
Yes.
Oh yes, you got
Just to
watch
see
it.
Miggy and Buck.
I think you're humiliating him though. You got to bat him 7th, don't you?
But you're going to put him in front of Kirilloff?
Ninth.
No, I don't know. It must be obviously a lefty.
It's a left-handed
There's no
pitcher.
DH in this game,
is
correct?
Sanchez catching again?
Yeah,
right?
Miranda's the DH, and Sanchez is catching.
Wait, I thought does the NL now have DH?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
way to go.
what the hell's
You
happened?
heard it here first,
What
ladies.
happened? How did I miss that?
I don't know. That is the
You
amazing.
heard it here first.
Oh, that's not good.
I looked it up the other day. The hitting is down so much. The batting average for all of baseball is 242.
Wow.
Which is 2 points lower than last year when the NL National League did
Pitchers
not
hitting.
have the DH. Did have pitchers hitting. How can we be worse offensively, hitting wise, with the pitchers hitting in one of the leagues? I
It's a
don't get
mystery, isn't it?
It. Yes, it is.
You heard it here first.
You heard it.
I'm up on the game.
You are. You
What the
are.
hell?
Tony Oliva in the Hall of Fame, my favorite all-time Twins player and personality, and I love the guy. So I was very happy for him.
I'm happy for him too.
He was very.
Does his
relieved.
brother got to go back to Cuba?
Yeah, Juan
not just
Carlos. Well,
hide
he's got
here?
2 brothers here. Juan Carlos came in, and
8 millions.
the other one was the 8 millions guy, but Juan Carlos was his kid brother, who pitched for the Cuban national team for 15 years. Yeah. So I actually saw him pitch in one of the Olympics.
I've been watching a lot of the Hemingway documentary. I think it's a repeat Ken Burns deal.
Yeah.
Cuba was nice when Ernie had a place there.
Oh God, yes. He's hard to live with, though. I
little
watched
bit.
I'll
say.
What was the name of the battle? The other reporter. I don't know. Marjorie or something. She was as feisty as him, though, man. Yeah. He wanted to control the situation with the wives. That was
think
it.
so.
But he was also one of those guys that if he got a date, he married him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Anyway,
All right.
he had the wandering eye, Ernest did. And anyway, yeah, that's a very good. I watched it. I watched it about a year ago, so it's really good. All right, hey, that was a hell of a Monday night
I
sports
think
They got
so.
their money's worth
Tuesday.
Tuesday
On
edition.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday edition. Brainerd this weekend. Bikes. They're scary to death, but you'll enjoy watching them.
Beautiful.
You've heard me discuss my relationship with Josh Arnold for some time. The reason I advocate that you give Josh a call is simple. Trust and results. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions. As has been said, through all of our relationship, past results do not guarantee future returns. And while that is true, Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. You can understand that Josh will make sure you are not paying more in fees than you are seeing in returns. Yes, that is more common than you would like to think. Do yourself a favor and have a booking with Josh for the 48-minute free evaluation. This is a no-obligation meeting. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. You will be glad that you did.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Patrick Reusse is a paid endorser.
Patrick Reusse for the Canopy Group. As you set out to explore Minnesota this summer, think about this. I didn't even know this. There are 234 cities in Minnesota with a population over 2,500, and the Canopy Group has clients in all but 7 of those. Why is this fact important? Because the Canopy Group's experience in all those Minnesota cities gives them a unique edge in getting you the best home and auto insurance coverage at the best price. Remember, the Canopy Group offers 16 insurance companies for a reason. That's to match your specific situation for your area with the absolute best insurance company for you. This is done every year because your specific situation may change. This experience working throughout Minnesota provides thousands of Canopy Group clients the peace of mind that knowing that Canopy Group is working for them. Please visit thecanopygroup.com today.